Hey YouTube, I'm back once again with some more pickups. It's Monday morning. Well, actually no, it's just gone 12. It's just after 12 now. And my mission kind of today was to visit a couple of HMVs with a specific job of finding some Blu-rays, Arrow Blu-rays to trade in at CEX. And I got to Middlesbrough a little later than anticipated, and went into HMV and couldn't find any of the titles that I wanted, and I was almost at the brink of saying, oh well, let's go and try the next one. And I thought, you know what, I'll just check on HMV's website, because I had been looking on the website the weekend, and one of the ones that I was looking for wasn't in the 2 for 15 deal, even though it is in that deal at Zavvi. And the other two, one's in stock online and one isn't. So, you know, I'll go up to the counter, there's no queue, and I'll ask. So I asked if they had them, and he looked on the computer and he says, yeah, we've got one of each. I know he didn't say that at first. There was an end cap by the kids' movies of all places, with a few Arrow titles on which I'd missed on Saturday, but they weren't on there. And I'd asked him about these, and he said, oh, he had a look on the end cap, and he said, I'll just go and have a look downstairs. And at that point I thought, well, I want two of these. I said, can you get me two of each? And he said, oh no. He came at the computer and said, I think there's only one. And he looked, and there was only one of each. So I got, I've already shown this quickly, but I got Old Boy. This is the slipcover edition. I'm not sure if I did mention this in the last video, if this is still available from Arrow as a slipcover. I think they might have sold out. But this was the last one in my HMV. It's got the booklet, it's 2-disc set. And the other one was Edge of the Axe, which is a fairly new release from Arrow, and they did do a limited edition slipcover strictly from their own website. You couldn't get it anywhere else, and that sold out before I even had a chance. But that is trading in at the moment at CEX for £20, or it's £14 cash. So after I'd made that video in the car, I went and paid me parking ticket, and then thought to myself, I was going to go and trade this in after. So I thought, I'm not going to get another ticket. So I drove back to town, back to Stockton, parked up where it's free, and I thought I'll just take it in there, take it to CEX in Stockton. And I'd forgotten the shopping centre. I've got a one-way system at the moment, so it brought me into the shopping centre at the wrong end, which means I had to go out on the high street and walk all the way up to the other end and back in to get to CEX. But what that did was took me past the Salvation Army charity shop, and it was open. And I thought, ooh, are the charity shops open now? So I went in, had a look. There's 3 Blu-rays. There's a Twilight, some rom-com that I can't remember, and a double pack of The Hunger Games and Catching Fire, but I didn't fancy any of those, and they weren't included. There's a sign that says all DVDs 45p each, excluding box sets and Blu-rays. So I didn't bother with any of them, but there's only the one DVD in there that I fancied, and it does actually trade in for a small amount, but this one I think I might actually keep. It's The Bill. It's another network release, volume 3. Comes with a bunch of episodes over 2 discs. I'm assuming this is still going to be fairly early years, judging by the cast on there. It's looking like the 80s cast. Yeah, but I did get a box set of this at the car boot sale a few years ago, and I traded them in because I think I paid, I can't remember what I paid, it wasn't very much, maybe it's £4 or £5, if that, might not even mean that, and traded it in for 20 odd. But this trades in for 2, so, you know, for the sake of that, I might actually keep that one. And at this point, I'm thinking, great, let's have a walk down the high street and check out all the charity shops. The next one is across the road, and pretty much right across the road, which is Age UK, and they were open. Maximum of 8 customers in at the time, they said. So, I waited outside, and the girl said to come in. So I had a look, and struggling at first, and I spotted these two. Their offer on DVDs has not changed. It's regardless, DVDs, Blu-rays, box sets, anything are 49p each or 4 for 99p. And I almost immediately saw these two, Fred Dibner's Magnificent Monuments. I'm a sucker for Fred Dibner. I think he's awesome, or at least he was. He's obviously he's not around. Well, I say it's obviously, to somebody it might not be obvious. Some people may not even know he is, but he's not with us anymore. He passed away, God, 2003, 4, 5, somewhere around then, a long time ago. But I really love his stuff, and this looks like it's some of his later stuff. He looks a lot older in those photos, and I've seen him in other stuff that I have of his. But curiously, there's only 2 episodes on each of these, and normally on his DVDs you get 3, something like even 4. It's like half a series on each one. So I'm just wondering if there's a third. I need to have a look on IMDb and see if, how many episodes there are for this, and whether there's a 3rd or even a 4th disc. I don't think they're part of a box set, because they've got their own individual. Have they got their own individual? Yeah, they've got their own individual barcodes, which aren't consecutive, which suggests, are they consecutive? 22, 235 and 242, no, so they're not consecutive. So they possibly may not have come out of a box set. I mean, it doesn't mean that they haven't, but it suggests that they have been sold individually at some point. So whether there's a 3rd one, I don't know, but I didn't see one on the shelf. This next one I picked up, I was just looking. It was all the usual stuff as far as DVDs are concerned on the shelf. There was an Ugly Betty series. Series 2 was one that I already owned, and a couple of other things. Downton Abbey, that wasn't really interesting. This I don't know anything about. El Nino, Live from the Eye of the Storm, but it's in a super jewel case. And if it's trash, then at least I've got a spare super jewel case. It's in pretty good nick. And then finally, at this point, I couldn't find anything else, so I walked up to the top of the shop, because they keep the kids' DVDs separately. And I looked through the kids' DVDs, and I found the Lego Star Wars The New Yoda Chronicles Volume 2, which I didn't have. I do have in the cabinet there, Volume 1. Looks like one of my lamps has dropped. So yeah, I've got Volume 1, but I didn't have Volume 2. So that's a nice one to add. Chuffed about that. I haven't watched any of these Lego Yoda Chronicles yet. The old or the new. Yeah, so that was it in Age UK. So I continued on up the high street. Next one is Butterwick Hospice, which was shutters were down, it was closed, and there is another Butterwick Hospice right at the other end of the high street. I didn't even go to that one, because if this first one was closed, there was no way that other one was going to be open. Right next door to that is the British Heart Foundation. That was closed, so I had a walk around to Cash Converters, just quickly glance in the window, because the Blu-rays are now on the end cap right in front of the door, so you can see them without going in. There didn't seem to be anything new that I could see. In fact, there was less on the shelf than there was when I was in there last week. So then I continued on to British British Red Cross, and it's the next one, and that was closed. And the last one that I tried, or walked up to at least, was Sue Riders, and that was closed as well. So 2 out of what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 out of 7 were open today. But I got a few little bits and bobs, so I'm happy about that. It's not a bad morning. Of course, on the downside of that, because I spent extra time in the high street that I didn't intend to do, my intention was to go over to Darlington on the way to work this afternoon and have a look in there. There isn't going to be enough time to do that now, I don't think. I haven't eaten yet. I've had breakfast, but I haven't had lunch. So to do that and get some lunch, yeah, time's going to be really tight. So I'm probably going to do that tomorrow, or as it is for me now, tomorrow. By the time this video's up, as you're watching this, assuming you're watching on the day I put it up, it's yesterday now. That makes no sense. What I'm trying to say is this video is going up probably tomorrow rather than today. So when you're watching it tomorrow, today is yesterday. that sounds even worse. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Just a few little bits. So thanks very much for watching, and yeah, maybe another video to see what I get in HMV tomorrow, if anything. Anyway, thanks for watching. Ta-ra.